Hello guys, welcome back to this video segment. I hope I'm meeting you at the right time. Happy Sunday to you, and appreciation goes out to you for taking time to actually watch this video. Again, I have some interesting updates in this video as always, and for this video I wanted to talk about the situation concerning Nigerian Super Eagles head coach appointment and the delay that has come, with the situation, from NFF's angle. And right now, a very, very important thing, a sad event actually, but it's also important or pivotal because it affects the team as a whole. And it is the fact that, there's been report that a number of first team players, as the Super Eagles first team players, are actually angry at NFF. They are angry, sad, disappointed, frustrated, all kinds of adjectives that you can use to qualify what they are feeling right now, regarding the fact that NFF hasn't been able to appoint a new coach for the Nigerian Super Eagles, even though it's only remaining just less than a month before, we actually start playing the AFCON qualifiers games. Again, these players obviously aired their opinions, and I'm going to share what they said, the different players, what they told newsmen, but the players' names will be confidential because it's not exactly right to let out this player's name. Before I share with you what these players have said in their own words, let's first of all look at the backstory leading up to why these players are now frustrated. Again, let's take us back to when Coach Finidi was actually fired, or when he quit the job. He wasn't fired; he actually quit the job. And if we take ourselves back to that period, it's been up to 7 weeks. It's been more than 7 weeks, give or take. And since then, the national team hasn't had any leader up until this moment. Even when NFF are in the news every day saying that they are going to appoint a new technical advisor, foreign technical advisor, a new coach, this, that. The executive committee actually meeting several times a week, then drafting out a short list of coaches, to be employed. And all of these moves, all through these periods, have not yielded any results, even up till today. The latest that we heard of them, like I've said, several times in previous video, is the fact that they had a short list, brought together by the executive committee and then tabled to the NFF's president. And these four shortlisted coaches, included Javier Nantes, Tom Senfield, Eric Shelley, and Steve McLaren. And McLaren is out of the picture. He took over the job of the Jamaican national team. And then Javier Nantes is above their budget. He's too expensive. So the remaining two guys, obviously Eric Shelley being the top guy considered for that one, and then Tom Senfield being the second option. Advances or talks have actually been advancing towards getting this man, and we expected this past weekend to actually be, when they announce, the coach, but it wasn't announced. The next thing we know is, all of these sort of stories from the ministry, the senior assistant to the sports minister, debunking reports about a certain meeting with Eric Shelley. And then again, another story coming out about the fact that the NFF's president is not considering employing Eric Shelley. Another report coming up again about the fact that they had previous talks with Eric Shelley and his salary is kind of expensive, and they're looking at, assembling another options, to start to pick from again. So all of these things, kind of brought the frustration together, and these players are now speaking up. And I'm just going to read what these players have said, so you know how frustrated they are, and the extent that they are really sad and disappointed about. So one of the players, who spoke to the newsmen, name not mentioned, he said, "The players see these things as a step to failure, but sadly the fans don't. The NFF need to do better for us to do better in games of such nature. Our opponents have coaches in place preparing for us. We don't even have an idea of who will lead us. This is really sad." This is what the first person has said. And then another player has said, It is the players that take the sticks when things go south, but a lot needs to be in place for us to perform at our best. A coach needs to be in place to study the opposition, bring tactics for us to execute, and it's less than a month, to 2 games, and we don't have one yet. This is what another senior player has now said. Then another player expressed his frustration when he said, these things need to be planned, not like employ a coach and expect to win the next game or get fired like Finidi. It is becoming the habit of the NFF to set up these coaches to fail by making late announcements. So this is what has been going on in the minds of these players themselves. And this is the reason why sometimes I don't blame these players very much when they fail to perform or when they lose a game, because I also put myself in the shoes and I realize that there isn't adequate preparations that they put in or they're invested in order to be able to win such games. The bulk of the blame actually traces back to NFF and their incompetences in decision making in virtually every aspect of their responsibility. I'm not sure that they are getting anything right. Let's be honest with ourselves. Not today, not in the past. NFF has always proven to be incompetent, insensitive to what the players want, what the fans want, and they're always slow to action. So this is what's happening right now. The players are whispering amongst themselves. They are speaking out to the media, even though their names still remain anonymous. But if it was a federation that's actually working, they surely would look into these matters, especially reading them in conventional media, seeing how these players are frustrated, and act quickly to salvage the situation. So this is what's currently happening right now at the national team. It's sad, it's frustrating, but this is the reality of what's happening. But let me leave that gist, guys, and let you know that Moses Simon has returned with a bang in the preseason. Of course, if you follow the channel, you know that the last time I talked about Moses Simon, I let you guys know that he actually scored a goal in their preseason against Dunkirk. They won 2-1 in that game, and it was just a few days ago. And then they played another one yesterday. They won 2-1 again, and Moses Simon got on the score sheet. That game was against Laval, which is their second preseason game. Of course, Moses Simon scoring back to back, and it looks like this man has returned back from injury with a motive. Simon definitely has an intention ahead of next season. Scoring back-to-back goals is an indication that this man is serious about business, into this next season. Again, they have a couple of friendly preseason games to play. They have against Lorient next, and then against Crystal Palace before they kickstart their League One game, later in mid-August. But that's the updates for now. Leave a reaction for any of the stories that you like, especially about this latest issue right now. Some of the players actually coming out to talk about their frustration with the fact that NFF are incompetent in terms of quickly acting to employ a new coach for the national team. That's the update, guys. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and also share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and also follow this page. Take care of yourself, guys. I'll catch you later in the next updates.